Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Astuterasata Sisimaji Vangisi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Chakru Upadi Ki Ananta Kori Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Guru Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopina Shama ko Radha Kunde Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvi Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Balade Subhadra Devi Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Genjis Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. Om Vishnu. Padya Krishna Prita Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Tirtha Shanti Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shitamina. Shri Gaura Karana Sakti Bhakti Tirtha Tinamini. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshulurmalitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Nasavitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Nadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Utapadakamayam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathan Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Payan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopi Sagopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Dr. Kanchana Gurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Prisavana Suti Devi Nami Hari Priya Panchakal Pataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavinivyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Let's complete the last part of overcoming unnecessary anxieties, so we can finish it today. So the spiritual world is without anxiety. The purport of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 774 states, the spiritual world is called Vaikuntha, which means without anxiety. In the material world, everything is full of anxiety, Kunta. Whereas in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, everything is free from anxiety. The Topos Yoga system discusses actual peacefulness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that those who are Krishna conscious, because they have no demands, are actually peaceful. Those who are after sense enjoyment, salvation and yogic mystic perfection, are always full of anxiety. That is also a quotation from 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐭. In �KRishnadas Goswami, he explained that Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Samta. Krishna Bhaktas, they are free. Why are they free?
Because they don't have any desire. Nishkam.
Krishna devotees are full of desires.
They don't have any material desires.
They don't have material desires. No selfish desires. No selfish desires. To build a TOVP is not desire. It's not desire. It's a small desire. Huge desire. It's a big desire. Billions of dollars. So it's a big desire. To preach Krishna consciousness is not desire. A desire. You will have more anxiety than if you are not preaching Krishna consciousness. If you want to preach Krishna consciousness, you have more anxiety. Because you get people who are not devotees, who pretend to be devotees, and you have to deal with them. Very difficult. And they are more than devotees. In Krishna consciousness, and Prabhupada said, in this movement is gone. In this movement is gone. There are so many envious people. In the same purport, he said, envious people are not devotees, they are ordinary people. And he quoted the verse, and supported by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Upeksha. Upeksha means
Neglect.
we should reject them. But how will you reject a person whom you have kept for 40 years? You are giving him a position. How will you reject? He's going to speak more than you. And he knows the philosophy more than you. How will you reject? You have GBC meeting on ending GBC meeting. On ending. It's not anxiety. On ending to go for years. And if you enter Indian court, how many years? Lifetime. That become a lifetime issue. It's anxiety. So you get anxiety more. If you want to preach Krishna consciousness, you have more anxiety. You are going to have people who doesn't like to eat sweet rice. You get people who like to eat sweet rice. Who like to eat people who start eating from sweet. People who start eating from salt. People who want to eat from oil. You have all in one place. People who wash their hand before eating, and those who not wash their hand after eating. You have all in one place. One place. You know anxiety? It's anxiety. It's a big anxiety. So, a devotee should learn how to handle anxiety. We should not think that anxiety is going to be free. That is false. That is a lie. Conditioned soul can be free from anxiety. Can you mention any soul who is free from anxiety in this world? Any soul? Even when pure devotees come here, even Krishna himself has to fight with demons every day. And anxiety. Krishna is going to fight, and he's telling his senior brother Balaram, don't come with me. Stay here because another demon will be coming in my absence. She will take care of that when I'm taking. Is it anxiety? Planning how to handle the situation. Is it anxiety? That is the Supreme Lord. That is the Supreme Lord. What about tiny, insignificant souls who are 100% under the influence of Durga? What about that? Immeasurable. Chintamaya Parmayam. Immeasurable anxiety. Immeasurable. It's unlimited in this material world. So, we have to learn how to handle anxiety. Except we are in Vaikuntha, then there is no anxiety. If you're not you're not in Vaikuntha, you should expect from all directions. Even if even if you think nobody can give you anxiety, your own body is going to give you anxiety. Your own mind is going to give you anxiety. Your own sense is going to give you anxiety. There's so many deficiencies in the body we carry. There's so many things. And people think that I'm very poor, let me get money so I become free. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. If you get money, you have more anxiety. He said, when people can sleep in the street, right? If you have money, will you sleep in the street? You will not sleep in the street anymore. You have to sleep where there are heavy padlocks. Put yourself in a prison. Nobody put you there, now you put yourself there in the prison. Nobody buy padlock for you to lock your house. You buy the padlock yourself. It's shackle. We shackle ourselves in the house. It's anxiety. So you cannot be free. But Krishna Bhakta Nishkam. The devotees of Krishna are free from anxiety because they don't struggle. They don't struggle for their senses. They struggle only for Krishna. The devotees struggle only for Krishna, not for their senses. Their senses does not push them. As devotee, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam. They are selfless because everything they do, it is centered on Krishna. Anything which is not about Krishna, they are not there. Devotees are not there. So they are free from anxiety. Even though they are surrounded by anxiety. There is a devotee. His name is Vrindavan. She is a woman. She is a devotee. She is a devotee. And she is supporting, working very hard for someone else, not ISKCON. But it's a Vaishnava, but not in ISKCON. So she is supporting him, dealing with all the gundas in Vrindavan. So one day she said, you know what is going on? I said, no, what is that? As I'm talking with you, I'm eating. In the middle of guns, the people have pointed me guns here. But I'm sitting in the middle and eating my prasad. This is when she was telling me some things he did. I look at her face. You are a woman? this is not a woman. She was telling me some things he did. I didn't tell her I was looking at her. This is not a woman. She stays in Nigeria for years because she married a Nigerian before. So, see, in the middle of gun, she's taking prasad and answering a phone call. And people are waiting there. They're not protecting her. They are after her for the case is handling for her spiritual master. So I was not surprised because I have already had experience with her. So she's talking like that. I was not surprised. I know, yeah, this is you. So I can't expect anything less than that from you. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, apart from that, bhuktis, muktis, siddhis, sahakali, sanga. The bhuktis, bhukshus, the center of all the activities in the body. This body may be extended body. The muktis, the mumukshus, they are looking for liberation. It is also higher than the body, but it's also within the self. And the siddhis, they are looking for mystic power. They want Krishna's energy without Krishna. So they are all miserable. There are varieties of selfish people. They are miserable. They are full of anxieties. So the secret is with devotees. That is the secret with devotees. So devotees struggle very hard. They work very hard. Not lazy, not sleeping. They are not idle. But they are struggling so hard like that for Krishna. It is not possible for a non-devotee to do that. A non-devotee cannot struggle like that. If you see a non-devotee struggling, it is for the self. For someone to work so hard for another person, that you don't find in the material world. It's only devotees who can do that. And Krishna appreciated Karma Muni for that. It brings Krishna's affection for that devotee. So devotees are extremely dear to Krishna because they have given up their personal interest for Krishna's interests. That is how one becomes dear and free from anxiety. One is dear to Krishna, free from anxiety. As long as one is full of anxiety, one should know that he is still under the grip of material nature. And as soon as one is free from anxiety, one should know that he is liberated. This fearful anxiety exists because we do not know Krishna, the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Controller. Not that we don't just know about ourselves. We don't know who Krishna is. We don't know what is the relationship we have with Krishna. And so the Prabhupada said that because we don't know about the eternal spiritual world, that is why we are trying to create eternity here in the material world. If we know about the spiritual world, the eternal spiritual world, and what is there, that what we are looking for here, it is illusion. What we're looking for is not here. We don't look for light in the darkness. We're looking for light in darkness. That is not possible. If you need light, you should go out of darkness. Or you put on the switch. If you need light, put on the switch. The switch is off. So we cannot get light when the switch is off. When we tune into Krishna consciousness, then we'll be anxiety free. We'll be living in Vaikuntha with Krishna, because that is where Krishna is. Instead, we have other conceptions, and therefore we are always anxious. All living entities, men, beasts, birds, or whatever, are always full of anxiety, and this is the material disease. If we are always full of anxiety, how can we attain peace? People may live in a very nice house, but out front they place signs saying, "Beware of dogs. No trespassers. Trespassers will be persecuted." Why? Why are you coming to disturb my peace? And in some places, I went to see Yashoda Mai, and I told her, you know, Mataji, in Africa we don't have all these protocols or these things. We just walk into a brother's house, sister's house. We don't wait for all these formalities. We just walk in there. Because we appreciate association of each other. So if I want to come to a place and you have to order for this, you have to order for that, then you plan this and plan, then I have to wait for a day for you to plan this. And this wastes my time. I'm just walking there. So I just come. Whatever you are doing is okay with me. So then I say, yeah, I don't want that. Just come to you. Just walk in there. Whatever you are doing is alright. So this is alright. But the people don't want this because they're coming to give me anxiety. If you come to visit me, then what am I going to spend, and what am I going to do for you, how am I going to take care of you, do I have the expenses, am I prepared for it? No, you should not come this time, you should come that time. Anxiety. It's anxiety. In the Vedic culture, everything for the guest is available. Everything is available, naturally available. So, but the artificial process is not there. This means that although they are living comfortably, they are anxious that someone will come and molest them. A disciple told me her mother sleeps on water bed. Then I asked her, your mother is sleeping on a water bed and she sent you out of her house. That means she is peaceful in the bed. Is he peaceful? It's full of anxiety. So this is another illusion. We are anxious about material facilities, but we don't realize that a shadow cannot exist without the object. For a shadow to exist, there must be an object. If there is object, automatically the shadow is there. If we are spiritually healthy, we will be materially healthy. If you are not spiritually healthy, you can have all facilities for material health. Everything will fall apart. Everything will fall apart. Sitting in an office and earning a very big good salary, a man is always thinking, oh, I hope I don't lose this position. The American nation is very rich, but because of this, it has to maintain a great defense force. So who is free from anxiety? The conclusion is that if we want peace without anxiety, we have to come to Krishna consciousness. There is no alternative. Okay, 266. What did he say? 266. Anxiety is a major symptom of the material disease. If we deny God's existence or deny His position as the supreme controller, we can push Him out of the way along with His love and empowerment. We will even block the flow of blessings coming from the previous acharyas. Nasti buddhirya yuktasya nachas cha yuktasya bhavana na cha bhava yatha santiri asantasya kuta shuka. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can neither have transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Ayukta are not connected with Krishna. One who is not connected with Krishna has no life. Will never be free from anxiety. So people may have all kinds of positions and better facilities. And in Mexico, if you tell someone that they are suffering, he will laugh at you. Suffering from what? Suffering from what? Say, you are a fool. You say, suffering from what? Because, yeah, we have sophisticated medical facilities and everything. So what do you mean suffering? Suffering from what? Yes. You have the hospital, very good, but the doctors are not dying. The doctors will not die. They don't get diseased. They're not anxiety. They're not suffering. So, illusion. We will even block the flow of blessings coming from the previous acharyas that we are doing regularly. A few of the devotees' qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty, anxiety, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee. A devotee is not in anxiety, and a devotee cannot put anyone in anxiety. A devotee cannot put anyone in anxiety, and nobody can put him in anxiety. That's a devotee, free from anxiety. Do you have right hand? You have right hand? Thank you.
Sorry, Marks.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equiposed in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very, very dear to Krishna. We are struggling very hard to be dear to somebody in the material world. Everyone is struggling for that. And people commit suicide because of that. Nobody loves me. I'm not feeling I'm dear to somebody. I'm looking for somebody that I'm dear to. You don't see that. He committed suicide. There's no need for me to live, let me just die. But Krishna is teaching. If you want to be dear to somebody, it is Krishna. And these are the qualifications. This is the qualification we need. So Prabhupada is saying, these are few qualities of a devotee that makes someone to become very dear to Krishna. And very dear to Krishna. If you are dear to somebody in this material world, it will bring frustration. If we are dear to somebody, or somebody is dear to us, both of us will be in anxiety, because it will end. If you are dear to Krishna, it will not end. It's eternal. It's permanent. So the person we should try to be dear to is Krishna. And he is teaching us how to be dear to him. Krishna is teaching. To be dear to Krishna. That is devotee. That's a devotee. Nobody can put him in anxiety. Why? What is the reason why nobody can put a devotee in anxiety? Why a devotee cannot be put in anxiety? Yeah, we understand he can't put us in anxiety because he's pure. But why nobody can put him in anxiety?
Because he sees everything is coming from Krishna.
He's saying everything is coming from Krishna. Big philosophy. It's a big philosophy. Yes?
Because he's not attached to anything material.
Not attached to anything. Philosophy. You're not attached to anything. Philosophy.
He cannot, like whatever anxiety comes, he can handle that. He has that strength to handle the anxiety. It doesn't seem to be anxiety for him.
He has no anxiety.
Because he is so absorbed in Krishna that he has...
He does not have anxiety. If you have anxiety, other people can put you in anxiety. If you don't have anxiety, nobody can put you in anxiety. If you strike a match and put it in water, it will light. Why?
There's no fire in it.
There's no fire element in water. If you put it, it will light. Why? There is fire here. There is fire here. So if what is a devotee free from anxiety, I cannot put him in anxiety. And because he doesn't have anxiety, he cannot put others in anxiety. You cannot give what you don't have to somebody. We only give what we have to people. So he has no anxiety, so he cannot give other anxiety. Rather, he would take other people's anxiety and free them from anxiety, the pure devotee. So we have to go to sadhu to be free from anxiety, because he doesn't have. So he will also make us free from anxiety. Yes, since a devotee is kind to everyone, he does not put others into anxiety. So we can see, am I a devotee? If I'm putting anyone in anxiety in any way, that means you're not devotee. Oh, what if Prahlad put his father in anxiety? What about Arjuna? What about that? Arjuna killed 640 million people. All the women were crying. They lost their husband. You know anxiety? Yeah? So what about that? What about that? Arjuna, Prahlad Maharaj. Haridas Thakura, he put Muslims in anxiety. So what about that? Talk now. Give me your philosophy, let me hear your philosophy. What about that? He talk. I want to hear.
Haridas
anxiety. They were in anxiety because of themselves only. Their desire to kill him, and he was not getting killed. So it was not his fault that he was putting anxiety on them.
Okay, very good. Prahlad, Arjuna.
So Haridas Thakur in fact relieved them from their anxiety because he like acted in a manner that he was dying, and he went to the
Kazi, Nawab. People were beating him. What about the Kazi and the Nawab? Those who wanted to kill him. Not those who were beating him, but who really ordered for him to be killed. The Kazi and the Nawab. What about them? What about Prahlad?
Prahlad Maharaj has
Arjuna.
firm faith. He had firm faith, that's why he was not in anxiety.
Not talking him. Not talking. He gave anxiety to his father.
Because his father, Hiranyakashipu was thinking that this child will become of greater fear later on to Hiranyakashipu. So that thought was making him anxious. His own thoughts were making him anxious. That's why he was giving trouble to his own son. Similarly, the Qazi was thinking that Haridas can be big trouble for him because he's converting all the
Muslims to Hindus. Good.
Gurudev, what they were going through was material anxiety, and what devotees have spiritual anxiety. So devotees, even if they see in terms of giving them Krishna, giving them making them rid of their material anxiety. Devotees are not worried about so much about the material anxiety.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
They were envious of Krishna. That's why they can't see someone half sister for Krishna. They were envious of them.
Intentionally, they were devotees of Lord, and like the Hiranyakashipu's main anxiety was his inability to control over Prahlad Maharaj. But like because devotees are under the control of Krishna, he wanted to transfer that control from Krishna to himself, and that was the reason of his anxiety.
All right, thank you very much. Prahlad did not give anxiety to his father. Arjuna didn't give anxiety to Dhira and Haridas didn't give anxiety to Nawab and Kazi. They put themselves in anxiety because of their own sinful nature. It is not them who give them anxiety. They are not their enemies, but they make devotees their enemies, so they suffer. So not the devotees who put in anxiety. So you look like that. They didn't put in anxiety. Haridas forgave all of them. Prahlad also forgave his father. Whatever nonsense he did, forgive. Because they didn't make them their enemy, but they make the devotees their enemy. So what can you do? What can you do? If somebody envious of you, what can you do? Can you stop someone from envying you? No. No, you cannot. You don't have that power. That is a problem. So devotee, he doesn't put us in anxiety. At the same time, if others try to put the devotee into anxiety, he is not disturbed. It is by the grace of the Lord that he is so practiced that he is not disturbed by any outward disturbance. Actually, because a devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness and engaged in devotional service, such material circumstances cannot move him. Bhagavad Gita 12:15 purport. Keep in mind, a devotee should not feel anxious over his or her own problems, but should feel extremely anxious for the well-being of others. That is spiritual anxiety. It is healthy and makes us to progress in Krishna consciousness. Furthermore, a devotee should not act in a way that causes anxieties for other people. If we notice that our actions put another person into anxiety, which consequently hurts their spiritual life, we should examine our own behavior and try to make adjustment in a way that will minimize the negative effect on the person. This type of consciousness will signal our care and will protect a healthy association. A devotee should not be so pure and become insensitive to people's feelings. If our purity has made someone to be disturbed, then we don't have right anymore. We have to contribute to the solution. So we check. We check how our purity is disturbing some people and check it. That's a devotee. Reflect on your own life and consider the amount of anxiety saturating your existence. Let us think. Anxiety which is haunting us. Think carefully about anxiety which is haunting. Can you define the level of anxiety in your life? Can you define the plans that you have for dealing with your anxiety, the worries? Are you engaged in some short-term goals which can help lead you to the ultimate long-term goal of surrendering fully to Krishna? If we do not plan, Maya will plan for us. However, if we plan without faith in God, in Krishna, Maya will strike us and capture us again and again. So it is good to plan, but we should plan based on Krishna consciousness. That is planning. We should not plan based on our strength. Gurugram was planning based on his strength. Yeah, I'll get Krishna's army. Oh, I'll get my strength. I don't plan based on Krishna's strength, he won. That's the difference. We should not plan demonically. We should plan positively, Krishna consciously. So let us reflect on our life and consider the amount of anxiety saturating our existence. Let's think about it. Think. And then, can we define the level of anxiety in our life? Can we define it? We already discussed. The majority of us doesn't know what is causing anxiety. So far, many people have asked, what is the problem? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. Can you define the plans that you have for dealing with your worries? You cannot define it because we don't even know what is the problem. So we cannot look for the solution. Are you engaged in some short-term goals which will help lead us to the ultimate long-term goal, which is surrendering to Krishna? No, that is not there. So we are simply worrying ourselves unnecessarily. Liberation or mukti means getting relief from these constant anxieties. This is possible only when anxiety is changed to the devotional service of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us the chance to change the quality of anxiety from matter to spirit. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:12-28. Purport. Santaya. He has no anxiety. One who has to seek pleasure from other sources. One who has to seek pleasure from other sources. 112.
What's the verse, Maharaj?
1:12-28. 1:12:28. Is full of anxiety. Karmis, Gyanis, and Yogis are full of anxiety because they want something. But the devotee does not. You see? I'm not using the horn. I'm just taking some part. But the devotee does not want anything. He is simply satisfied in the service of the Lord, who is fully blissful. Devotees are blissful because we are connected with bliss. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, Idam Gyanam Upashitya Samdaryami Samdaryami. If we take shelter of this knowledge, if you take shelter of this knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, you will attend to his nature. So if we are connected with Krishna, Krishna's nature is Satchidananda Vigraha. So if you are connected with Krishna, if Satchidananda Vigraha, we will have the same experience with Krishna. But if we are not connected, Yukta means we are not connected with Krishna, we will not experience what Krishna is experiencing, and we remain dry. The dryness will bring anxiety. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, 18, 19 purport. So-called religious activities executed in the bodily conception of life are always accompanied by fear and anxiety about the ultimate result. But the pure devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead frees one from fear and anxiety because it is executed on the platform of Vaikuntha, or the spiritual place, where there is no fear or anxiety. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the process of Bhakti Yoga is so powerful that even in the stage of sadhana bhakti, in which one is practicing devotional service through rules and regulations, the neophyte can have a direct experience of fearlessness by the mercy of the Lord. As one's devotional service becomes mature, the Lord reveals himself to the devotee, and all fear is totally vanquished forever. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2-33 purport. Unless the living entity comes to the guaranteed protection of the Supreme Lord, he is full of anxiety. This life of material anxiety is called material existence. To be completely satisfied and devoid of anxiety, one must come to the position of eternally rendering service to the Supreme Lord. Madhya 1:206 purport. The difference between a person in Krishna consciousness and a person in bodily consciousness is that the former is attached to Krishna, whereas the latter is attached to the result of his activities. The person who is attached to Krishna and works for him only is certainly a liberated person, and he has no anxiety over the result of his work. In the Bhagavatam, the cause of anxiety over the result of an activity is explained as being one's functioning in the conception of duality, that is, without knowledge of the absolute truth. Gita 5:12 purport. Once one surrenders unto the service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord takes charge of the maintenance of the devotee's body, and there is no need of anxiety for its protection. It is said in the second chapter, second canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, that the fully surrendered soul has no anxiety about the maintenance of his body. The Supreme Lord takes care of the maintenance of innumerable species of bodies. Therefore, one who fully engages in his service will not go unprotected by the Supreme Lord. Bhagavatam 3:33-29 purport. So the last point is, I have examples of personalities who are in the middle of anxiety, but they are not affected. As we were saying before, we cannot be free from anxiety. They are in the middle of anxiety from all directions, but they are peaceful. Not only does the Srimad Bhagavatam explain that one must take full shelter of the Lord, but the many great personalities such as Parikshit Maharaj, a pure devotee, king in ancient times, who was cursed to die by a snake bite, also lived this instruction in a very real way. He had all types of reasons to feel fearful, since a snake bite will soon end his life. But he did not feel anxious. Instead, he carefully engaged in the proper action. As his death approached, he wanted to understand how to act. Therefore, with rapt attention, he elevated his consciousness by carefully hearing the instructions from 𝐶ukadeva Goswami, a young boy, but highly advanced in spiritual mentor. Yesterday we mentioned some people, if you tell them they're going to die in 7 days, they will die before the 7 days. Because of anxiety. Some years ago, in late 60s or 70s, and Jehovah's Witness, they started forecasting that the world was going to end. And what people were doing, they increased their sinful activities. So they were drinking all kinds of things. Let me spend the money I have worked so hard to get before I die. They increased their sinful activities. Not example, but so Parikshit Maharaj was not like that. He engaged himself in the process of purifying the consciousness, not contaminating the consciousness more than what it was. It's increasing the contamination. So this is how we see the difference between a devotee and non-devotee. Parikshit Maharaj, Draupadi, her situation was, what was her situation? Her situation, Draupadi. What did you see as her situation? You have heard about Draupadi many times. You have spoken about it in the lecture. So, what was her situation?
So her child were killed, but she forgave Ashwatthama because Ashwatthama had his mother to take care of.
Even between the assembly, when her clothes were, she was being disrobed in front
Assembly of who?
of all the kings in the dynasty, and in
When they were
Swami,
playing
like
that dice
Dhritarashtra,
game. They were playing that dice game.
Arjun is a warrior, but she is not a warrior in terms of she's a woman. Although she's from a Kshatriya family, but she is not carrying weapon. For Arjun's situation is different from her situation. Her situation is a woman, but the world leaders were sitting against her. Bhishma was there, Dronacharya was there. In her presence, and her noble husbands were all present. It's a small case. If it's Arjun, it's a different thing. We can carry weapon and stand before them, but she does not have weapon. And people who had weapon were attacking her. She contaminated her consciousness. She purified her consciousness by calling Krishna. Do you know what happened? Krishna have not been able to pay the debt of her call. Till today, Krishna have not been able to pay. The cries he made to Krishna was so heavy that Krishna have not been able to pay. she engaged herself in a very deep conscious cleaning process. And after that, what again? Trivasamuni came to her. He came there to curse her, not to come and bless. He to curse her. What does he do? She called Krishna. She called Krishna. So, Sagoguna Maharaj said, when as we devotees have problem, whom do we run to? Krishna? I doubt. I doubt. We don't run to Durga. How many people have given up Krishna consciousness because of difficulties? That is running to Krishna. I know many people have given up Krishna consciousness because of difficulties. Is that running to Krishna? So we can say, oh, run to Krishna. But in reality, we run to somebody else, not Krishna. Very, very few exalted devotees will run to Krishna. They will see Krishna in all circumstances, in all situations. Draupadi once again had every reason to feel completely anxious. She did not know how she would feed all of those personalities and fear the sage's curse. However, she once again went into proper action, and by satisfying Krishna, all of her anxieties were eradicated. The great Vaishnava Acharya, the Divine Graces Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, also exemplifies this exalted position. He came to America in 1965 at an old age with a sick body and did not know anyone or have any money. Is that not faithfulness in Krishna? Was he fearful? One of his disciples was happily, oh Prabhupada, you were fearless. Prabhupada said, no, I'm always fearless. That's why I can come to your country. If I'm fearful, I wouldn't have come. He was warned, Srimati Moralji. Swamiji, you will die. He said, yes, let me go and die there. Let me go and die there. Following my spiritual master's order. Let me die there. That is my perfection. Go. I cannot stop you again. Go. That's how Prabhupada went. No money. Now we are going somewhere. Can you get with prasadam? Prabhupada didn't have person to call to give him prasadam in a ship or when he will land somewhere. Even when he stopped at what's the name of that place in South India? Kochi. And Prabhupada stopped there. He didn't call somebody to bring him prasadam. Not devotee was there. Now you can call anywhere in the world. Do you have temple in such and such place? Yes, we have a temple there. Can I get prasadam there? Yes, you can come to the temple and get. There was nothing like that for Prabhupada. Nothing. But he went. Sudama Vipra, a humble saint in the Srimad Bhagavatam, did not have any material opulences due to his impoverished state, but he did not fall into anxiety. He was not anxiety, he was so poor. His wife chastises him every day. He was not in anxiety. Called up Dhira. He doesn't have wife, so he didn't get chastisement from his wife. Sudama Vipra has a wife who was chastising him. Also in Jagannath Puri there is another one. Mohanty. His wife was chastising. He was shouting. She was shouting. What of what's his name? Stuka Krishna. His wife, very dramatic woman. Very dramatic woman. She will carry food to her husband when he is doing his bhajan. She will not give her food. She will not give him food directly. She will go and dump the food on her body. And one day the child was sick. She dragged the child on the ground. Her own child. She dragged her own child on the ground and dumped it on the child. You see what they do. But one day as she was coming down from there, she has a turn that pricked her feet. As she stayed down, Christian personally came and removed the turn from her foot. But still she didn't know it was Krishna who did that. Please, Tukaram. He didn't change. He did not change his mood from Krishna. He continued. They continued. All of them. Tukaram, Mohanty, Sudan, Vipra, Kolabesha, Sukulambambache, and many Prabhupada. They remain fixed in their Krishna consciousness. Nothing changed them. That is the spiritual bhakti. So we have great personalities who are exemplary in their devotion. So the last very service to Krishna. As we read through these many different pastimes, we will see how all of these great devotees acted in a way that will best please Lord Krishna. They do not unnecessarily worry, doubt God's presence, or avoid the problem. Rather, a devotee considers how to act in a way that will bring out the best result and satisfy Guru and Krishna. The devotee wants to find the best way to gain freedom from the material energy of Kunta and embrace the atmosphere of Vaikuntha. Excessive worry indicates that we are pushing Krishna out of our lives and participate too much in the duality. When we absorb ourselves in anxiety, it indicates our lack of faith in Krishna's personal concern and attentiveness to each of us individually. However, he is watching and is fully concerned. Our excessive anxieties also indicate our own cowardice because we have substituted worry for proper action. Finally, is Bhaktija Maharaj. Recently, my own body required a surgical operation. In the time leading up to my surgery, I received many letters and phone calls from devotees all over the world, anxious about the outcome. However, what is anxiety about? The body is a body, material body, and it will go this way or that way. You can't change it. But Gita told us that which is temporal, you cannot make it permanent. And that which is permanent, you cannot destroy it. What is the worst? The body is a body. What if the worst happens? And then what? And then Prabhupada said, let the worst happen in Vrindavan. Let it be in Vrindavan. Plan for that situation. Why are they not preparing themselves more to serve and help spread the God consciousness more effectively? Why are they not trying to free themselves of any type of stagnation that connect us with their duality? We want to feel anxious to let Krishna's mercy come into our lives. This is our consciousness. We should feel anxious to increase our level of service and use everything we have more resourcefully. We should feel anxious to plan instead of feeling lazy, sorrowful, depressed, or victimized. When these negative qualities increase in our lives, it means that we are basically telling Krishna, you made a mistake. We want to say, God, Krishna, arrangements are perfect. And whatever you arrange is due to your mercy. I want to grab that mercy. We want to, and say that sort of greed. Too much anxiety means we lack the sufficient amount of greed for the higher sins. For the higher sins, we have involved ourselves excessively in a lower energy. Hare Krishna. Am I talking to people? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any comments or questions?
Yes, Maharaj. So Maharaj, you were mentioning about anxiety, Maharaj. So a pure devotee, like somebody who's trying to become dear to Krishna, he does not get anxiety by others, and he does not put others into anxiety, Maharaj. But the thing is, Maharaj, we see sometimes devotees are very sensitive to others, Maharaj. So when they are very sensitive, they are very susceptible to get into anxiety, Maharaj, with whatever action we do or whatever we say, Maharaj. And unknowingly or knowingly, there's a chance of offending them, Maharaj, because they get anxious. So what's the scope of us getting due to Krishna in that?
We have given examples of Prahlad, Arjuna, Haridas Thakur. There are many people like that who are in anxiety because of their envy towards devotees. We cannot stop them from that anxiety. We on our part, we try our best not to put anyone in anxiety. Try. We try. But if somehow or other someone is in that situation, if we know, we say sorry to the person. If we don't know, pray to Krishna and continue. We cannot stop them. We should not deliberately put others in anxiety. That's what we can do with that.
Maharaj, you said that we are blocking ourselves from receiving the mercy from the acharyas.
Yes.
You said we are regularly doing that. So can you give some examples how I am blocking myself from receiving the mercy? What all I am doing, which I should not do?
If we are in anxiety, means what? Means we are not approaching the sadhus. We are not. And because we are not doing that, you don't get the chance, you don't get the mercy to get free from it. I will complicate it more. In West Africa, I told devotees, if you have any misunderstanding with each other, and you didn't come to meet me, if you quarrel, don't come to me. I will not listen to you. Because both of you have acted wrong. So which of you is right? I will consider you right if you come from the beginning to come and inform. see the situation. Then you get advice. You didn't come to ask for advice. You didn't see me. You have complicated the issue. And then I come in to come and give me anxiety. I won't take it. I will leave it with you. So you suffer and learn from it. That's my style. Yes. Don't forget calculated anxiety. They have planned that anxiety to go and disturb you. There is a saying that when a cunning person dies, it's a cunning person that will do cremation for the person.
When a cunning person die, you do what, Matt? You
A cunning person will do cremation for you.
Cunning person will do cremation.
Thank you, Maharaj, for wonderful class and very important topic. Maharaj, how to make a balance that whatever is causing us anxious, how to understand it, whether we should accept this as a plan of Krishna, or should we do something about it? I mean, where's the line that we, after that we take, okay, this is Krishna's plan, and before that we keep on trying to
adjust
handle the things.
We will know it's Krishna's plan. We will know if it is Krishna's plan. If, say, I have a health issue, and I cannot just wait that Krishna wants me to. So it's my karma. It's foolishness. Go to hospital and treat it. If it doesn't go, if you have tried and tried and tried, it doesn't work. Okay, so you can surrender. This is Krishna's plan. If we continue to, no, from heaven to. Recently, a devotee had a cancer. A devotee had cancer. And it has gone to a last stage because I didn't know the person until after 4 years. This cancer had been there for 4 years before I met the devotee. So when the devotee told me about it, so I wanted to do something. I will do something for that. But Krishna responded that it is late. So I stopped. I didn't do anything. But I didn't tell the devotee because he will die before the time. So I didn't. And I told another devotee to talk to indirectly. So she was informed that, yeah, see, this cancer has gone too far. Better don't waste time. But she continued. So I didn't say anything. She tried to exhaust her resources. So eventually she had to surrender to it. So in a situation like that, so it has gone too far. It is late. So we couldn't do anything. We would have done something about it. So a situation like that is there. So that's the example. So we have already discussed before. This is the sixth lecture we are giving on this anxiety thing. We already discussed. It's for some of us we have a karma. I'm not going to make a big money this lifetime. So I've tried and tried, it's not working. I've tried for something, it's not working. Better to accept it like that. But if you know how to do, one can go to some astrologers and try to do some puja to change the situation. That is going against the law. All the pujas and things we are doing is against the karmic law. People are doing it. He has a reaction. You go to these people, if he change, they think, oh, he's very powerful. But they have not done something. What he did was to postpone it forward. It's not removed. The next life you are going to face it. It's only pure devotees have the power to erase it. Others cannot. The only thing they can do is to push it forward. So we think, yeah, they have. And even pushing it forward, they have increased our problem. They have interfered with our karma. They also suffer. But you don't know. So yes, we know it is Krishna's plan. When we have tried and there's no success, we should resign to it. We know this is Krishna's plan. Yes.
Shilbhadra, you mentioned several times that one need to progress. There is no second path other than progress. Without progressing, a devotee will become envious to other devotees if he doesn't progress. Now, after, say, for example, Shilbhadra, initially it becomes very easy to measure the progress because you are new, so you have a lot of books to cover, a lot of instruments to learn, a lot of things to, and we become submissive to learn from acharyas. After 15 years or 20 years, how do we understand what is progress? And after 15 or 20 years, Gurudev, what is the source of anxiety? Because several times we see that devotees 15 years later, they speak, this devotee is doing that wrong, or that devotee is doing that wrong, or temple management is not wrong. Now this devotee is well studied in scriptures, well studied, has a lot of preaching, and is well versed. He knows everything. So what is the cause of anxiety for him, and how do we understand that? What is the measure of progress? How should we measure it?
So the Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was having darshan with his disciples in one time, and he said, today I'm going to speak something they are not ready to hear.
Disclaimer, Maharaj.
A devotee who has spent 15 years in this moment should be ready for it. But I know that you are not ready. Although I know you are not ready, I'm going to speak. Because some people will be ready for it later on. For their benefit, I'm going to speak to them. Even though you are not qualified for it, now I'm going to speak. But the point is, anyone who has spent 15 years here should be ready for it. So, if we have spent 15 years, we're not ready means what? We are stagnated. And that is not Christian consciousness. That is not progress. Progress is that we are now ready to hear. Ready to hear means that we will hear now in Krishna Balaram Temple in Vrindavan, the chapter you are dealing with now is Rasa Dance. And so it is an intimate activity of Krishna with gopis. So yesterday verse which I treated was 26, 27. Parashar Maharaj was very, very concerned to help non-devotees from the offenses they are making in their mind. So he asked a question for Sukadeva Goswami to speak, to explain all this. So today, 28th verse, Sukadeva Goswami started with the word after karma. Krishna is self-satisfied. What does that mean? Krishna's dancing with the gopis is not sense gratification. We are dancing with a girl or a boy for our sense gratification under the influence of alcohol. This is what we do, and we are stimulated by a demonic sound. So all these things are materially stimulated. Aptakam means that Krishna does not do things to please his senses. Krishna does things to please those of us around him. It is for pleasing us, not for himself, because he is self-satisfied. He does not look for anything outside himself. And yesterday we were trying to explain in devotee, even the gopis Krishna danced with, they are his expansions. That is direct expansions. Krishna had two groups of gopis. The gopis he came with from the spiritual world here, and the gopis who joined with him from here, the two classes. So he did that. If we are falling from behind, you will see that these gopis have gone to perform austerity to get this opportunity, and Krishna satisfied them. So is it for Krishna or for the gopis? And suppose they did this austerity and Krishna does not respond, how would they feel? Will you consider Krishna is fair? Huh? How many devotees feel that Krishna is not answering my prayers? Yeah, you see? So is that fair? If Krishna did not satisfy the gopis, will you consider it to be proper? No. Like many devotees feel Krishna is not answering my prayers. I'm praying, he's not answering my prayer. When Krishna answered, why do you answer? So what do we want Krishna to do? Is a shop boy? Krishna is a shop boy waiting there. Give me sense. Krishna will run to go. Give me cloth. Krishna will run to give me. Give me this. Krishna will run to give me this. This is what we think Krishna is. Krishna is a shop boy waiting there for whatever we demand. Yeah, to go and bring it for us. We pay and go. That's what we understand Krishna to be. He's Aptakam. So it means that we are participating with Krishna, like the gopis. We are participating. That's advancement. If we are not participating, who is not participating? Those of us who how Krishna can dance with people's wife. We are outsiders, and that is how we can act like that. So yesterday we were saying it is sinful to tell Krishna why. I will give an example. How can you ask me why I'm using my microphone? It's my own. It's my own. So I'm using my property. So how can you ask me why? You are foolish to ask me like that. If it's not my property, you can say, oh, you're a thief. But it's my property. So I have right to use it. That's why I got it. Huh? How will people consider you buy a car and park it in a car park and just leave the car there? Is it sin? If you use it because that is what you bought it for. And you're using your car you work for and bought it. So, why are you using your cell phone? Why? It's your own. You bought it for that. So you're using it. We are all Christians in it for his pleasure. That's what Krishna did. Eko bahusha me. I am one. Eka bahusha. Let me become many. For what? For my pleasure. So Krishna is doing that. And a foolish person is people's wife. How dare people's wife? And then there are Shruti Charis and Muni Charis. The two classes also, gopis that join him. They have fasted for years in the forest, meditating seriously to have Lord Machanda. And Lord Machanda said, not my past life, in my next life. In next life, I will do that with you. And he's doing it. It's a promise with their desire. And a foolish person, unfortunate person, is saying, you dance with people's wife. Which people's wife? It is we who should be ashamed that we are using someone's property. But we don't have shame on our head. We are grateful, sinful people. That's in Krishna why. So there's advancement if we can participate with Krishna in his enjoyment. There's advancement. So we will not feel different. I remember some years ago, one lady she was reading Christian book, and at the point she told it, she ran to, Prabhu, Krishna can do like this? In her mind, she's thinking, why are you not doing it with me? See what Krishna is doing now, so let's do it also. So once we were talking, I was laughing at her. I was laughing at her because Krishna can do like this. I said, yes, Krishna can do that. Why not? He can do that. Why not? Is he not a person? Krishna not a person. He's a person, not just a person. The supreme person. So he can do something that we cannot do. Right? So we should be participating. After 15 years, we should be participating. If we're not participating, it means we're not making advancement. There is stagnation. Why is stagnation? Because we have become complacent. You ask the devotee have joined a movement for some years. Now is stagnated. Why stagnation? We are now minimizing devotional service. We are minimizing Krishna consciousness. Because when we were coming inside, the heat of materialization was much. As we came inside, Rupa Goswami gave us 6 symptoms of pure devotional service. 1, to extinguish the fire of lamentation, anxiety, instantly. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, this fire is extinguished. Yes, I am here now. I'm not GBC. I'm the GBC. I'm the Guru. Yeah, the mighty one. Yes, I'm the mighty Guru now. Sannyasi, Temple President. I'm the Global Duty Officer. Yes, office gone. You don't know? Office gone. It's gone. Yes, that is me now. Now, with all these things, project manager, the project director are going to sit for meeting the whole day. And how many rounds you have chanted? You sit for the meeting the whole day. How many rounds have you chanted? They are going to eat burger cooked by hired cooks who are not chanting. You know what is happening? Many leaders, this is what's happening here in India. All the cooks on festivals are hired people, hired karmis. Only once, God 𝐾𝐸𝐺𝐸 Maharaj and God 𝐾𝐸𝐺𝐸 his servant took prasadam in the festival. He didn't speak with him for 4 days. You ate festival food. The woman who sponsored the food has a questionable character. You ate her food. He didn't speak to him for 4 days. But we are doing this regularly. Festival food. Stagnation. And nobody is realizing it. And not all food are prasada. Prasada means a food which has been eaten by Krishna and the remnant. If I'm correct, all of you are educated and know the scripture. Rupa Goswami said, a food should not be offered to Krishna if it is cooked by non-devotees. Krishna is not a hungry man. Krishna eats the affection of his devotees, not our expertise. So look at all the contaminations that are causing anxiety. We're eating food which are not prasada. And even if it is prasada, who cooked the food? What consciousness? The person cooked the food. What is the consciousness of the pujari who offered the food? What are the ingredients? In the Vedic age, food is taken as medicine. Today we are taking food to fill our belly, not medicine. It is poison. I've been sick for a few days now because of food. It's food. No, eating food not to get sick. Why do you get sick? The contamination. So all these things are bringing anxiety that we are carrying. It brings stagnation, that we are becoming complacent because we're not careful. We're thinking, now I'm free, I'm independent, I can do what to do. Look at the way we treat the devotees under us. See the way we deal with devotees. Because of our position. Our position is not helping devotees. Our position is a threat to devotees. How we will not have anxiety? And that anxiety will make us to become stagnated. We will not remember to do our 16 round. Check very carefully. Many senior devotees are not chanting 16 round. But the position is there. So we get stagnated. So we should be conscious of this.
So Maharaj, when you began the lecture, you talked about pretenders in ISKCON, like who are in the movement, who know the philosophy, and who are very good at leadership and all of those things, Maharaj. But then at the same time, they pretend, Maharaj. So how we can keep ourselves aloof from becoming a pretender, and how at the same time we can identify such pretenders and how to deal with them, Maharaj.
If we are very sincere devotees, Krishna will protect us from the cheaters, from the pretenders. Krishna will. I have told devotees many times, nobody can cheat me. Whatever you are, you cannot deceive me. You cannot. You can go any direction, pretend, hide whatever you want to hide. You can't do that. Nobody can, I didn't know devotee. Don't exist in me. It doesn't exist. Let us check what brought us to this movement.
Sincerity.
What brought us here to ISKCON? What is our intention coming to Krishna consciousness? First thing we should check. Second thing, are we doing what brought us here for? Let us check that. If you don't do this, you'll be anxiety. Because you're not going to get the goal. You are doing business and you don't succeed, you feel happy? No. So if we are in Krishna consciousness, there's no success. Why are we surprised we're not feeling happy? Nobody feels happy being a failure. The success makes us happy. And it's also an impetus to continue. If there is success in the business, you continue with that. Why do we change our business? Why do we change our job? This company is not paying regularly. The company is not progressing. If I stay here, I'm not making any progress. Let me get a different place. So we don't do that in Krishna consciousness. We get stuck in one place and we don't see it. Stagnation means that we are callous. We're not checking ourselves to see, what have I come here to do? Am I doing it? This mentality you should have. Then you can make progress. Krishna will not cheat us.
Maj, you mentioned that sincerity will protect us from the pretenders. So Maj, in that case, how do you really define sincerity, Maharaj?
Sincerity means I'm not duplicitous. My dealing is straightforward. All my dealing is with everybody is straightforward. I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing I cannot do in the public. Something I cannot do in the public, let's not do it. It means it's not correct.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Both the classes of gopis are direct expansions of Krishna. Those who came from there and those who joined from here. Both the classes of gopis, those who came with him and those who joined him from here. Both of them are direct expansions of Krishna.
No. No. And those who came directly, the expansions. Those are like we are new devotees. Be a new gopi. New duty gopi. New. We are new. The one Krishna brought were the expansions. Krishna expanded himself into Srimati Radharani. From Srimati Radharani, after Srimati Radharani came out, then the gopis came, the gopas came, the Surabikas came, the bulls came. And after the bulls that came, the one that has the strength of 10,000 lions. And Krishna selected him and gave to Lord Shiva. That is Nandi. Nandi is the expansion of Krishna. It came from Krishna. Nandi is not ordinary person. And he's so powerful, he can bring Ravana down. Ravana was flying in the air. And he wanted to go and disturb Shiva. Nandi brought him down. And he was shocked that somebody can check him. Nobody had ever checked him from his movement. But Nandi checked him. Where are you going? To disturb my master? So he insulted Nandi. He said, you monkey. You stop me? Nandi said, you call me a monkey, I will destroy you as a monkey. So Ramachandra used monkeys to fight Ravana. Destroy him. That is the cause from Nandi. Alright?
And Maharaj, you said festival food should not be eaten. Festival food should not be eaten. And
if you are a devotee, if you don't want to stagnate, you want to be in anxiety, unnecessary anxiety.
Yes, Maharaj. So, and you also said that in ISKCON we are using hired cooks who are not chanting for cooking. So when we celebrate our festivals like appearance and disappearance of our acharyas, then always at noon there is a feast, or even appearance or Vyas Puja or disappearance of spiritual masters is also a feast. So should I eat that or not eat?
They cook by devotees. Devotees who cook.
That's not.
Devotees who cook. That is not festival food. Festival food is food cooked by non-devotees. They hire them to cook. Devotees who cook. Some years ago it was in Mauritius. So they're celebrating Vyasa Puja. And some disciples, they went to work because they're working there. After they closed from work, they came to a restaurant, bought a cake and put it there. So the devotee called me and asked me, is it proper? So I said, that is wrong. We are treating the spiritual master like a hungry man. You want to work, and then you just went straight to the shop, purchased cake, and offered to the spiritual master. Whose feelings is inside that cake? Whose feeling is inside the cake?
Owner of the restaurant. No feelings, it's only money minded.
Whose feeling is inside the cake? The person who made the cake, not you. So what is the sacrifice here? Purified from that service. Where is it? We get purified from the sacrifice. It is the service which we do. So what is the sacrifice? just easily go by, and it's a common dealing, and that is not the relationship that should exist between the disciple and the spiritual master. We have feelings. We demonstrate that. Mother Yasoda said, "Today, I will not allow